There's some real money in the room.
Speaking of no jumper podcasters, Crip Mac, free Crip Mac by the way. Crip Mac did a show on Druski. He made an appearance.
Yeah.
Were you able to catch the episode?
I didn't watch it with him, but Tony Real Rich was on there.
Him and Tony Woodridge and a gang of other people, and he was essentially, everybody had their blue flag, and he was essentially like showing them how to Crip properly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was like the drill sergeant.
Yeah.
And I guess he saw Tony there.
Yeah.
And Tony let it be known that he knew Crip Mac.
Yeah.
From No Jumper. And he sat down with Crip Mac and they had a good time. And Crip Mac checked it immediately. He checked what Tony was talking about. He said, essentially he said that you said you weren't banging no more, give me your rag. And Tony said he ain't giving him nothing. And C-Mac said, well, you're gonna have to squabble over that. And they put their dukes up and Tony didn't back down. And Crip Mac went back to teaching. When you seen or heard of the situation, what was your thoughts? And I think we actually spoke on this in our first interview when I told you that Crip Mac and Tony Woodridge had a fight.
He's standing on business.
Right.
And Tony said, Gay Tony standing on business. And Gay Tony ain't nothing to play with, man, but he ain't a Crip, but he wasn't giving that flag back on TV.
Yeah.
He go fight for it.
Right.
I ain't fighting no. You get beat up by Tony, then what?
What you mean? You know what I'm saying? Tony, at the end of the day, Tony's a man. I don't know what people think about Tony. I don't know if people think Tony a
Nah, I'm just playing.
You know
I squabble Tony, but I just say squabble. I be laughing like, nigga. He probably would win, because as soon as he square up like that, be like, what are you doing?
Man, I be trying to tell people that Tony has fought the biggest, well, I ain't gonna call him the most feared, but the biggest and one of the most feared in terms of the hands. One of my old ops, Slim Body B, blood out of Stop 6, on the other side of Stop 6, and Tony squabbled him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Little Tony, big dude is big. He yoked up. He's bigger than DW Flame. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not the dude
but
that you just
can't fight either.
Slim Body can fight. You know what I'm saying?
Big, I mean, did Tony win?
I don't know if Tony won, but I know he scratched hard. They say Tony went hard. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that Tony,
he's still not
right.
He don't meet the criteria.
Right.
I mean, he can do the internet. Nobody can stop you from doing what you're doing on the internet. So live your life, cuz.
So what, in that situation?
I mean, he's a parody of a Crip. It'll be all right.
Right. In that situation, what was Crip Mac supposed to do?
When they square, I mean, I don't know what his contract was with Druski.
Right. Oh, so it depends on the business.
You get what I'm saying? If he can't touch nobody in the house.
Right. I don't like how y'all be selective politicking with the contract.
No, but no, I'm saying
Percy, it was all these problems, but when it comes to Crip Mac, what was his contract?
Wait, no. First of all, if this, you don't know if it was scripted, bro. See, you know about the YouTube world. This is an actual show. You don't know if this Druski, you get what I'm saying? Because Druski had to see the Crip Mac and Tony Woodridge interview while he going through who he wanted right there, or the staff. You get what I'm saying? It's a pretty viral interview out of all the interviews he did about the Gay Crip. So it's like, put that in retrospect, and can you be here with him without? So it's like, you get up on him and act like you gonna do something that's gonna make content. Like, you get what I'm saying? We talking about it now. So that could have been the whole play. What he was supposed to say, Druski, I ain't coming to get that bag, cause Tony there, I'm going to go get the bag. If it had to be a skit about some cribbing, then I can't tell you. Even though me and Crip Mac ain't said, I just can't tell you that. Cause I mean, in real life, if that wasn't at the Druski could have been and he did that, he supposed to get off.
Right.
But if it's a skit or it's a that they like, oh, we gonna have y'all have an altercation, then, but y'all can't fight, what you supposed to do? Did anybody squabble on this show for real?
I'm not sure. I don't.
You got to pay attention to that. It might be in that contract. Like, ain't no fighting. This ain't the baddies. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. So I guess it's a question for Tony.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that might be something you gotta ask.
Well, my thing is, you know what I'm saying? Because to my knowledge, y'all are from some pretty serious hoods. You know what I'm saying?
We can't politic what the Hoovers let go on. No way. We from neighborhood. We can't politic that. No way. If they did have gay Crips over there, that ain't had nothing to do with us. A Hoover can politic a Hoover. That was what that was about.
Well, but Tony isn't necessarily just a Hoover. He's also a Crip.
That has nothing to do in California. You cannot, no, it's no separation. If you from Hoover Crip, you from Hoover. You from the Groove Line. Whether you a criminal or a Crip, that's all the same. In LA, it ain't no, we can't politic on them. It ain't, if we was in jail and Tony Real Rich needed a DP, it would be gangsta Crips and Hoovers doing it. It would have nothing to do with the neighborhoods. We'd be eating our food, turning our back. We ain't even watching it. You know what I'm saying? Dead dummies. We ain't in the circle of them while they fighting. They doing their thing over there where they do their thing at.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah, so like even with Big Sad, that's a politic I wouldn't have been involved with in jail. I don't know why they wanted to do it on my part. I can't politic that.
Right.
Yeah. So that's kind of how that go.
Right.
Hey, RealToon, there's some real money in the room.